Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Let's Play Bloodborne. So, in this episode, we are going to head from the Grand Cathedral, swing left, and go to that big, hideous monstrosity, and let it grab us. As insane as that is. So I'd like to do that area before we proceed on to the main areas of the game. And I'd also like to do that area because it gives me a really good place to farm blood echoes. So I can purchase all the armor sets and all the stuff that I don't currently have. So I can show them off. In case, in case you never played the game, you've never seen all the, all the stuff. I'd like to get it all. So, yep. Excuse me. Oh my. Alright, drop on down. Is there an item over there? It's shiny. So the Bloodborne DLC was recently announced. It's called The Old Hunters, and I'm pretty excited for it. You can be rest assured that I will be covering it in this series to the 3 people who watch it. Who knows, maybe you're watching this in the future and more than 3 people view my videos. Alright, so here we go. This Cthulhu looking monster. Actually, you know what? I think what we're going to do first, I think there's a lamp over this way. So let's activate the lamp. Dargul Unseen Village. This place is familiar. I'm going to activate the lamp over here just so we can have a quick way to get back to it in the future. So we don't have to run through all that crap. There's a very red moon. I think there's like some excuse me. I think there are some bloodstone chunks in this area. So that's useful. You can see these big Cthulhu monsters are like all over the place. There's this dude with this weird caged helmet on. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some of the items around here. Bloodstone chunk. Yeah, I'll go down there real quick. So the way forward through the level is this way, through all those dudes. And I'm not gonna go there yet, because we're going to do a secret area in a second. But first, I would like to do this. Just pick up some items. I'd like to get all of the Iron Yargul helm. So that's the same as the other weird helm that we got before, except that one does not have a hood. And here we have another Cthulhu monster. You can see this elevator right here. That'll obviously be a shortcut in the future. One that I don't really use, but we've actually seen where that leads to. I love how you can see the shadows of, of these monsters. Okay, so I think we got all the items I wanted to get real quick. And let's head on to get grabbed. Yeah, you gotta get grabbed. I don't even know what that means. You can tell Excuse me again. You can you can tell that these guys respawn, so you know there's something weird going on in this area. All right, let's just get grabbed.
Have mercy on the poor bastard.
And now we wake up and find ourselves in the lecture building. So this area, the lecture building, is actually pretty small. I'm going to be doing the entirety of the lecture building in this episode and not proceeding on to the area afterwards. We will hit the lamp in the area afterwards, though. And we'll save that for a future episode. If you remember, the voice of the guy who was saying, Amygdala, have mercy on this poor bastard. That is the voice of the guy who gave us the tonsil stone. Yeah. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength. So he's tricking us to go here. In fact, we can see him right here. See his face popping up.
What a joy it is to behold the divine. It must be such a pleasure. You're in my debt, you know. You're nigh on a beast of the field. But here you are, treading a measure with the gods.
Trying to get a good look at his face.
Are your feet as fat as your wits? Oh, cease this dithering. Take the plunge. Throw yourself to the wolves.
Okay.
Are your feet?
All right. We will confront him a couple times later. A couple more times, rather, later. It does not open from this side. I don't believe there are any things down here. So this area, the lecture hall, specifically the bottom of the lecture hall, because there is a top of the lecture hall that we can't access until later in the game. This area is, in my opinion, the best area to farm for blood echoes, and I guess quicksilver bullets in the entire game. See these giant eyes? We have these goo students that hang on the ceilings and drop down on you. Lecture theater key. Being held by the professor? One can assume. And we have uniform. I think the pants are the exact same as the ones that you find in Bergenworth, but the chest bit is different. Yeah, it doesn't have the gown. It's just like a petticoat type thing. So we're just gonna cover, the left side, and then we'll do the right side. Now this room's tricky. I guess you could see him if you're not like, aiming the camera too far down. So the trick to fighting these dudes is to use a thrust attack, because they are weak to thrust attacks. This right here, open door to outside, is how we access the next area, and it's actually a very large area. The area we're currently in, the lecture hall, is very small, so this episode won't be very long. But the next area is quite a bit larger and features some pretty tough enemies. It's also the area for PvP, at least it was when I was, you know, actively doing such things. Yeah, I'm not sure about it right now, but you know, we're playing in offline mode just to avoid random invasions and all that stuff. Red jelly. That's used for chalice dungeons. I think for high-level chalice dungeons, actually. For a door, here we go. So this is where I like to farm. This room right here. So I'll show you my farm route. So you can see there's a ton of dudes in there. So I like to run in and aggro all the guys. Equip a saw spear. And yeah, just go to town as they funnel themselves through the door. You gotta, you know, gotta watch out for their reach. They do have pretty good reach, but yeah, this is a really good farming route, especially if you have multiple moon runes. And oops, that's not what I wanted to do, but it did it. Yeah, especially if you have multiple moon runes equipped at the same time, you can gain a lot of blood echoes. This is what I use to farm up my characters in New Game Plus to do to solo all the chalice dungeons, because a lot of the chalice dungeons, a lot of the harder ones, I think are designed for you to be in a group, especially the cursed chalice dungeons where your HP is halved for the the entirety of the dungeon. And I just did all of them solo. They could be kind of rough, you know, not gonna lie. Especially there's a specific boss in the cursed chalice dungeon that I think is probably the hardest boss in, well, maybe not the hardest, but requires the most patience in any Souls game, because your HP is halved, and unless you like put a ton of stuff HP and you're like really over leveled, he can just one shot you out of nowhere and you do like almost no damage to him. It's the watchdog of old lords. It's you have to have like a perfect fight, and it's like a 10-minute long fight. It can be tough. Augur of Ebritus. I think we can use this. So let's check it out real quick. Oh, we cannot. Where's 18? Remnant of the Eldritch Truth encountered at Bergenworth. Use phantasms, the invertebrates known to be the augurs of the Great Ones, to partially summon abandoned Ebritus. The initial encounter marked the start of an inquiry into the cosmos from within the old labyrinth, and led to the establishment of the choir. We will see the choir in all of its glory, and possibly Ebritus in the future. What's so cool about that is that entire bit, the Ebritus thing, is also completely optional. You can miss it on your on any playthrough. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think having these optional things that people can miss is actually pretty cool. I've already talked about this before, but I really like how it rewards players for exploring. I mean, it incentivizes you to explore and, you know, get to know the world. And also, it incentivizes a little bit of backtracking in the case of the choir. Actually, in the case of almost all of these, except for this one, you didn't have to backtrack to get to here. Anyway, so that's the lecture hall. It's pretty small. I like using that lamp and Bold Hunter's marks. So I'd like buy a bunch of Bold Hunter's marks, and every time you hunter mark back to that lamp right there, it'll respawn all the enemies, and you can just, you know, come to the store, kill them all, run through, repeat. You'll have like a ton of quicksilver bullets, probably max them out, you know, in your stash too. And yeah, it's good for farming up blood echoes to get armor, which I'm going to do off screen, so I can finally buy the Tomb Prospector set and the Crowfeather Garb, Eileen set. So, yep, you can look forward to that in a future episode. One of my favorite sets. I think it's one of many players' favorite sets. It's really cool. Oh, just as a quick note, these are my current stats. Level 57. These are the stats that I used to beat that that hunter that Eileen was going after. And as you can see, I equipped the hunter rune. So this rune is the first rune you can get that you can equip it into your oath slot. And there's only 3 in the entire game, and this is easily the best one. It increases your stamina recovery speed, which is pretty good. We will be getting the other 2 in the game, obviously, but yeah, we'll probably be using this one through most of it. And we can also buy Eileen's weapon, a dagger that can, which is pretty good. It's the weapon that I used that I first plus 10'd on the character that I used to 100% the game. So let's just go through here, and I'll see you on the other side. And here we are in the Nightmare Frontier. This area is entirely optional. This is what I was talking about, the area where you there's a lot of PvP because there are these Bell Maidens, and the Bell Maidens can beckon other hunters in to invade your world. And I think this is the earliest area where that's, you know, a prevalent feature. And a lot of people PvP here. Like, a lot of times when I'm playing online, I get invaded immediately upon walking through this cave. Which isn't a bad thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a really cool area. It's really weird. You can see like the spires in the mist beyond. Yeah, there are a couple. Ooh, I'm gonna get that right now. There's a lot of these dudes in this area. There's only 1 or 2 that actually give chunks, which is relevant. But we will do this area in the next episode, probably with some brand new clothing to equip. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.